And good evening, lifelong learners and Chris. And Anthony, welcome back. And Arb Jojen, welcome, welcome, welcome. And come on, guys, it's Saturday. You guys can go ahead and start chatting. We're not gonna dog you on that. And this would be a fantastic time for those of you who have not done so yet. This would be a fantastic time for you guys to go and get your apple juice of choice. And lifelong learners, no, it didn't. We've got lightning in the area. And Bert, long time no talk to. And Anthony, thank you. Thank you. You are the first official person donating to the podcast. And if you guys do hear a loud rumbling in the background, I apologize. It is thunder. And lifelong learners, yes, I absolutely do.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast for our Saturday night live stream. The Podcast is your home for rational crypto reporting and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door and discussing what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. The focus of our channel is companies that use crypto and not so much crypto companies, and there is a distinction. One appeals to 6% of the planet and one appeals to all of the planet. And from an investment standpoint, broader the market, greater the opportunity. I am your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and sadly lost fortunes, but clearly does not understand the YouTube. And joining me as always is my co-host as well as the greatest producer of all time, Belle. Say hi, Belle.
Hi, guys. How's everyone doing this evening?
We have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus onto use case cryptos because, as we know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo is no longer acceptable, and it's time for a technological revolution. Welcome to crypto and welcome to the Podocasts. Whoop, I didn't hit my button. Give it up, give it up. And I got to give a shout out real quick to Anthony Wysong. He super chatted us. I think that is outstanding. You know what, dude? You're gonna go on the backsplash because you are the first, and I'm gonna say probably the last person, people who ever tip us. We didn't really get into it for that, but you know it's pricey doing a show the way that we do it, and I appreciate it, man. I think, Belle, that you and I spend way too much time doing what we do. Don't get me wrong. I love going live. I love talking crypto, but we get way too excited about working on Saturday nights. I mean, it's fun, but you know what? It's kind of work. I discussed this on another live stream, and don't ask me which one. It's not that I don't remember, but we do a lot of these, and we're off script, so it's difficult to remember what I said and when I said it. So when I say we discussed this on another live stream, I literally don't remember if it was last time or last month. They kind of blur together after a while. Fortunately, Belle, we have an audience that will absolutely pin us to the wall if they want to, because they damn sure remember. They remember what I said, when I said it, how I said it. Best audience on the YouTube is right here on the Podcasts. But we also created one hell of a monster for that very reason. They remember what we said. So if it was said stupidly, and I do it, I say things I didn't really think through. But we have to remember what it was, when it was, and we have to defend the stupid position all the way into the ground. And that is double tough. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Pretty sure you wouldn't either. Am I right, Belle?
You're absolutely correct. Honestly, being pinned to the wall, it keeps us on our toes. It keeps us going.
And you know, she's obligated to say that. So she doesn't really have the weight of the opinionated weight because, you know, she's kind of on the team. So, all right, guys, look, we're going to get into this a bit. Lots to talk about. And we can do it in our Saturday night mode. The Saturday night mode is apple juice, and I'm going to stop what I want, and I'm going to take a sip, if you excuse me for a minute.
Hey, I'm going to give lifelong learners a shout out here. Lifelong learners just donated to us. That's fantastic. She also says, nonsense. Thanks for all the hard work and dedication you two put to making this show happen. We appreciate the transparency and consistency in your messaging.
Oh, God, man, you're going to make me go. You know what? I'm wet right now. I'm wet. You know, we get bashed a lot. And, you know, that's okay. When you put yourself out in public, you kind of got to expect it. But it's wonderful. It's just wonderful getting the accolades from time to time. So, you know, it means the world to me. Guys, Empire, my AMP guests, and it's pretty much all of you guys. We have Eli Noto, Flex's Director of Business Development, who will be joining us for the stream on 22 July at 1900 Central Time. Belle, you did good. You did good with this. Uh,
I,
th-
I did have a little bit of help. I've got to give Bert a little bit of credit on that one. He sent the original canned email and forwarded me the initial response. I just took it over from there, so I did have help.
you know what? How about this again for the team? Yay! Yay! Uh, this was always going to be our problem, particularly with a small channel, and that's having enough time for everything. I write content. I make the videos. I handle the physical tech, the back end portion of it, but Belle does the producing. So when she copied me on the discussion emails she was having with herself and Eli, I was excited, and I was very excited because she sent them to me as a batch. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at because she never told me. She didn't even mention it. I just got this big blast of email, and all of a sudden, oh hell, I'm talking to Flexa HQ. Great. So that's how it was. It was an empty mailbox, then a stuffed mailbox with the name at flexa.co all over them. And truth be told, I didn't know what I was looking at until I got to the third or fourth email. And again, all the credit where it's due. Bert, Belle, they absolutely made this happen. You know, Belle can be charming, she can be professional, and she got it done. Bert put them in the room together, and she just kind of nailed it down. So, anytime I watch a Flexa live stream or an interview, I always look at the chat. I'm not really so much listening to what they say because I have a pretty good idea what they're going to say. I want to see how people are reacting to it. And what I always see is, why don't they ask such and such question? I see it endlessly. It's all over the chat. Now, I tend to be thinking the same thing. So we thought it would be awesome if we could bring that to the podcasts and just turn it over to the audience. And Belle made that happen. And by turning it over to the audience, we mean exactly that. Phone lines will be open this evening to shake out the tech and get us into true radio mode. But this is our beta test to make sure that we're locked in, because that's how the interview is going to go. I get to do the host duties, get some background on Eli, make him comfortable. Then it's on you guys. It's all on the audience. Fortunately, we have the best, most tuned in, honed, precise audience that I've seen anywhere on YouTube. So, if you guys have ever wanted to ask Flexa such and such, guys, Flexa will be here. But please keep in mind there are some, and we've been chatting. So just please keep in mind that there are some things he will simply not be able to answer. We asked specifically if there are any subjects that were taboo, and he said no. But he also said he cannot discuss things that are way under the radar right now. From a business-facing direction, I'm sure you guys can understand that. And with our audience, I don't think I have to explain it. But as this will be very public, we will most likely be attracting a rogue element into the stream, and I'm hoping you guys will help us out with that. For the interview night, we would absolutely love it if one of our OG podcasters, if we could count on him or her to act as another chat moderator for us. It's going to be rough, man. We have trouble keeping up right now. Belle has trouble keeping up. I think our live stream, we had like 90-ish people. It was a bear keeping up. And some stuff got through that probably shouldn't have. So if anybody would be interested in that, we would certainly appreciate it. And you know what? You get a T-shirt so for helping us out. But if anybody is interested in that, Belle at ThePodocasts.com. Send her an email. You guys work it out. I'm deferring to her. She takes care of those issues. So that's what we got. But Flexa HQ folks are going to be watching this interview, whether it's live or from replay. But if from nothing else, then a bell-breaking standpoint. This is Eli's very first interview. He's never done one before. They are going to want to see how he does. So if you ever want to see Flexa back on this channel, back on the podcast, back in your wheelhouse, be professional, be interesting, ask good questions, and don't take it personally if you can't answer a question you might ask. We will be doing phone questions and chat questions, but again, we're expecting a good deal of action on this, so we probably won't get to all of them. But I wanted to put that out there for you guys, so I'm counting on you. You are you're the bank. You're the voice of the bank, and you're going to have the actual person using your money is going to be sitting probably framed right here. So anything you got to say, please feel free to ask it. And yeah, that's it. That's going to sum up our. That's going to sum up everything about Eli. So I kind of wanted to carry on a little bit, if that's okay. If nobody has any questions about that, Belle, do they?
Actually, we've got 3 volunteers to mod for
All
us.
right. You know
So
what? You guys,
this
you
is
guys work.
fantastic.
That is, you guys work it out. Email her, take care of it. So, in other news, and I people are sending me emails about this, and I appreciate the emails, I really do. But they're sending me emails asking me if I saw the BitBoy video, and I get it. You know, he is the biggest of the big, and he did a video about AMP, and the crowd went wild. I did watch it. I think he did great with it. Excellent, excellent visibility for the AMP. Million plus subs, and they tend to do what he says. I found it interesting, though, in that he broke the mold of what works for him, what built his channel. He wasn't really shilling. He was talking about AMP. Now, I'll say that I didn't get any real takeaways from the video, but you know what? I'm sort of familiar with AMP. The surprising takeaways I got from it was actually from the AMP Reddit. There were lots of comments on that, and they were kind of like, finally someone talking about AMP and not just, you know, to the mooning it. I got to be honest, man, that made me feel it made me feel a little bit bad. We've been on this for months and months, and we can't even crack Reddit top 10. But you know what? It's not about the podcast. It's not about BitBoy. It's about AMP. It's about our investments. It's about our money. So I am I'm absolutely thrilled with the coverage. If the podcast, this channel, if we want to grow, we need the social media presence, and I don't have time, and I don't know how. I don't. I can post about videos and content and write new stuff and hit it at new angles. I can do all that, or I can tweet her. But I really can't do both. So I default to content making, and whatever works out, works out. Bert's been helping us out on the tweeter thing, and I truth be told, I have no idea what he's doing, but Belle knows, and that's what matters. So yeah, I was gonna do a call out for a social media person, but man, let's get real here. All right, we're a little nub of a channel. We probably don't need all of that coverage. So yeah, guys, look, big interview coming up. Great for the Empire. BitBoy is talking up AMP now. Great for the Empire. Partnerships galore. Great for the Empire. It's all coming up AMP. Everything.
Does internet porn know you're
Adam
cheating
CN for the subscription. Thank you. And you know what, Adam, you as well. Smile, boys. Smile. The price right now doesn't matter. The price in 2 years does matter. So, you know what? I'm gonna carry on, but I'm gonna apple juice, man. Saturday night, you guys are gonna have to deal with the inconsistency of this particular chat because we've been grinding it. I mean, we've really been working hard on all this stuff, and Saturday night's kind of our letting our hair down thing. I don't have any hair, but I'm sure you get what I mean. So 1 second here. Oh, nothing but goodness in that glass. And for Ray, this one is for Ray. As promised, we will be opening up the phone line shortly. Keep in mind, I pay by the minute for the service. So if we are not taking calls directly, you know what, I'm going to leave it off. If you want to help support the show, we already got some super chats tonight. If you want to help support the show, go for it. I'm not expecting to make any money off this ever. I just want to see, I wanted to see how it works. I wasn't even aware that there was a thing called Super Chat. Belle just informed me before we went live. And I guess we get to keep some of it. I don't know. Belle knows. But we decided that if we ever got to the point, we would be using half of whatever's given us to support the show. Because it does cost, it cost me a bunch to do this. But the other half, we were going to... giving it to a charity that I really like called Jillian's Legacy. Don't look into that one unless you really, really, really like to cry. It's absolutely heartbreaking. So, yeah, anyway, phone lines are going to be open in just a bit. So if you ever really wanted to talk to the Podocasters, that's myself or Belle, you have your opportunity. Belle is going to be doing the screen. No, she's not. We got Bert doing the screening tonight. So Belle's going to stay focused on all this other stuff. But guys, please, no profanity or sexual undertones on the calls. I know I'm really the dish. I mean, I take care of myself. I get it. Thank you. But try to control yourselves. My finger will be on the mute button, so if you get out of line, you're going to get dropped and blocked. I don't want to do it, but I'm sure you get why we're going to have to, because this is the preamble for the interview. So, and that's it, guys. That's it. That's our big news for the week. We're trying something brand new out after the break. We're going to do a 10 and 10. So Belle has a list of 10 questions we didn't get to last show. She's going to read them, and I'm going to answer them. We're going to have the stopwatch up, and it's 60 seconds per question. That's it. We think it'll be fun, and Saturday is definitely the time to try something else out. If it lays an egg, you can say you were here for the very first and last time we tried. Anthony! He did it again, man. That's wonderful. So, look, anything I need to address right now, Belle?
Not right at this very minute, no.
Really? All of that? Nobody has a single question? You guys are disappointing me tonight. We did get the new T-shirts in.
They've got questions, but they can wait.
Okay. We did get the new T-shirts in. And so everybody who's owned a T-shirt, they're going to be shipped real soon. If you have one and you guys haven't came to terms yet, you can have one of the new ones, or you can have one of the retro ones that I tend to wear. I was just wearing this one tonight to show it off. So dealer's choice. We have lots of both. So please, please, please knock yourselves out. So anyway, we're going to take a 60-second break. We are going to be coming back with 10 and 10. And I want to make sure that I have this up right now. But let me see. Where did I put it? This is how new it is, man. I don't even remember where I put it. But when we come back, you're going to see that right there. So if you would like to talk to the Podocasters, please call 515-523-6995 to speak to any one of us. Bert is going to be taking over call screening duty tonight. So 60 seconds, 10 and 10. Phone lines are open. Let's have a fun show tonight, guys. We'll be right back. And thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open for the podcast. If you would like to speak to any of the Podocasters, please give us a call at 515-523-6995. Bert will be screening the calls. I hope he is hooked up. And I do see that we got a call screener in there, and we are off and running. So anybody like to talk to the podcast, give us a call. Bert's going to hook him up, and off we go. But while we get that queue filled up, we're going to go ahead and do our 10 in 10. Belle, are you ready for the 10 in 10?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, and we are off. Hit it.
Jesus is God. Hey, Scott, what do you think about Hex? Is it a scam, Ponzi scheme? Like many claim, I have never heard Richard Hart until yesterday when he was in BitBoys Around the Blockchain.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Have you guys not looked into this one? You know, it's kind of a funny thing. I'm real friendly with I'm friendly with, he's a reserve officer, I think Air Force, so, Air Force. But he's a reserve officer, and he throws all of his crypto questions at me. And as the Air Force people, I guess, tend to be a little bit more technical than other people. I don't think that's true. I'm a Navy guy, 24-year vet through and through, and, at hell with the Air Force. But he sends me all the things that his crypto kids are talking about, and he always asks me those questions. Well, is Hex a good one? All my kids love Safe Moon. They're swearing up and down on Bonfire. What do you think of Bonfire? So he sends me all of these questions. Look, guys, I'm not a big fan. I am a fan of. I'm a. Next question, Bell.
Brandon McCucken, can we talk about Decentraland and what virtual real estate will mean in the future?
Brandon, Decentraland. You know, I looked at that when I saw that coin come up because I thought that was a really, really, really nifty application of decentralized tech. I thought that was really, really cool. It's kind of got a. I mean, it's a game. It's a game, but it's kind of got a feel of that Second Life thing. If you guys have seen that one, meaning that you basically build your own reality. I think it's a neat idea. Now, I don't really play those. I play World of Warships is about the only online game that I play anymore. I really like World of Warships, but I think it is a very nifty thing they're doing there. I think during the rush that they managed to turn that little idea into a $1 billion market valuation. So as far as that goes, you're going to have to take it up. Next question.
Aaron, what will happen if a fragment of data is deleted because someone's node just stops working, for example?
I'm going to guess that we're talking about storage. You guys see it on my board over there. You know I'm a big fan. There's redundancy built into the system. I dug all the way down. I promise you guys, I am not going to pitch a crypto that I don't think is sound. I'm not going to pitch you a customer-facing idea that I do not think is sound. Storage does have redundancy built up into the, it has a lot of redundancy built up into the system. So even though a video, like I send them up my videos, even though they have, they're broken into about 500 pieces, it's not, they are stored on 500 individual nodes, but the pieces that are put all over the place are redundant. So the same piece might be on 5 or 6 different nodes. If it lost a big chunk of the network, it might be a different conversation, but as it sits right now, it's not going to stop you from getting your file back. So just kind of keep that in mind. Next.
All right, Aaron Ray, is it safer to just use a hardware wallet like Trezor?
Well, you know, it's really dealer's choice on this one, man. I have everything. I mean, I've been in crypto for a while, man. So I have everything. I have some that I leave on the exchange. I have a lot in my my personal wallet. I have some Bitcoin offline wallets that I think I have a Trezor. So yeah, some is on there, but I tend not to leave a lot of my money in my. I tend not to leave a lot of my my crypto in a liquidity form. I don't understand the purpose of that. It's fun, yes. It's trade. We can trade. We can scalp. We can do all this stuff. But as I continue to mature in the crypto space, I want my money to work for me. So if I'm going to be purchasing a crypto, I want to make sure it has a good staking mechanism attached to that crypto. So most of mine is not left right. Next.
Never missheld. You think you can give me an opinion on Stellar Lumen?
You know, Stellar, I would love to give you a really, really good opinion. I have a familiarity with it. That's about it. You know what? They're Bitcoin. You know, Coinbase was hot on this one, and that thing has been on one hell of a good ride. If I'm right about this one, and if I'm not, you can definitely pin me back. But I think that was one of the ones. Was that one of the ones that they will literally give you a staking fee for you to just leave it on Coinbase? Was that one, or was that Algorand? It could have been either, or it might have been Stellar Lumens, but I can't swear up and down on that one. I'm not a big holder of it, but it's not because I think it's a bad product. It's just it's not one that really interests me because, again, I have a tendency to look for world legacy facing tech, and I don't. Next.
Together Productions. Good info. I've been holding a nice bag of Anchor. Need to stake for sure. How would one go about staking Anchor for Anchor? Thanks.
Stake Anchor. I have a lot of Anchor staked. I'm a big fan of it. So Anchor is going to let you do this one of two ways. So you can support the network through staking with just Ethereum. You can just literally stake your Ethereum. The minimum amount of Ethereum that you're going to have to stake if you're using Anchor, if you're staking on the Anchor platform, is 1 Ethereum. A single Ethereum. That is the minimum amount that you can stake. and you're paid in a kind of like a derivative. It's like Ethereum B, Ethereum C, which I mean, you can still trade it and swap it on Binance and all that. I mean, it has a monetary value, but it's not, you're not paid directly with Ethereum. It doesn't work that way. Now, if you actually are staking the anchor itself, I'm looking at the clock too, Bell. So save that question. We'll tail back around to that. I want to give them a better answer. Next question.
Triplastic. They will use crypto as credit. The people. Best way to do it, I think. Thoughts?
I don't think I understand that question. Maybe read it again slower. Maybe I'm not processing it right.
They will use crypto as credit, talking about Flexa Network, I do believe. The people, best way to do it, I think. Thoughts?
They will use crypto as credit. So I assume they're talking about Flexa. And nothing about the Flexa Network gives me any indication that they have any intention whatsoever of establishing credit. So maybe I don't understand the question itself. Crypto by itself can never be credit. You have to have a wallet. You have to own it. I mean, it's debit. So, I mean, if you're talking about maybe wanting to process it like it. Next.
The Loopy Lone Texan. Do you think Flexa will be listed on Wall Street and sell stock?
If any individual crypto was ever going to be listed, meaning an ISO, an initial stock offering. If any crypto that's in existence that I'm aware of would ever have the capability, it would be Flexa Network with AMP as the collateral. So the crypto wouldn't be, or the stock wouldn't be in AMP, it would be in Flexa. Now, if they were looking for capital investment, meaning that, boy, you just turned me on to something on that, Loopy. I think that's a good question, and I don't want to just give you 60 seconds on that one, man. I want to tail back around. So put a pin in that one, Bell. That's a good, boy, you just put me on a different train of thought. You know what? You just opened this up for me, babe. I appreciate it. We'll come back to that. Bell, what do you got?
Bobby, how do you think crypto winter would affect AMP if we do have a crypto winter?
Probably not as much as you think, specifically on this one because of the nature of Flexa and the nature of AMP. AMP is effectively. Now, I'm going to be proven wrong here on this, and I certainly could, but I made a video about it because I think that AMP is probably going to be one of the very first traditional cryptos, to decouple fully from Bitcoin. It is its own its own store of wealth with its own inherent value, and because its inherent value comes from usage, and because Flexa is a legacy world-facing system, I think that it is the very first token that will most likely decouple completely from Bitcoin. So that being the case, crypto winter would be absolutely irrelevant to it. Oh, I'm sorry. Next.
Wood 69. How is it that all coins move down at the same time?
Well, they're coupled to Bitcoin, man. We've had, that's a great question, Bell. Almost like you segued me from the last question. Not supposed to do this in a 10 for 10. Shame on you. I'm a little disappointed. Everything's pretty well pegged to Bitcoin. That's what it is, and you're going to constantly see these wild fluctuations in the crypto market because, again, everything, people don't know crypto. They don't really understand it. There's crypto people that don't even understand it. That they think it's neat and they have an idea of what it was, but they don't know blockchain. They can't tell you about level 1, level 2. They don't know why you're working on Ethereum 2.0. They don't know any of these things. But you have so many of these civilian companies now that are just dumping money into Bitcoin and literally increasing the volatility of it. And because everything is pretty well pegged to Bitcoin. Oh, that's it. That's 10 for 10. But I'm going to finish this question, Bell. So suck it. Because it's kind of like a general understanding thing. Everybody knows Bitcoin. So as goes Bitcoin, so goes the market. We've been seeing this ever since more cryptocurrencies started coming out. So this is why it seems to be right now that everybody's in a race to decouple from Bitcoin. This is the big thing. And the first one that can decouple from Bitcoin is going to absolutely soar because it just became something else. It just no longer a volatile wild crypto. It is now seen as a stable investment. And I have not changed my opinion. I haven't seen anything coming out yet. There's a reason that I am so hot and heavy for AMP. There is a reason why I do so many videos about it and I talk about it so much. Because I think, and it's, you know what, the current price seems to indicate that I might be onto something, but I think that AMP is going to be one of the very first to decouple from Bitcoin. It is necessary for the success of Flexa to decouple AMP from Bitcoin. AMP is not a traditional cryptocurrency in any way, shape, or form, aside from the fact that it's blockchain. But aside from that, it is in no way a traditional cryptocurrency. I'm sure you guys watched the BitBoy video. I think he said that. That's going to be the one. That's going to be the thing that's going to really blow this thing all out. I'm very, very, very excited for the opportunity of it, and I hope that answers the question. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed our very, very, very first 10 and 10. If you would like to see this segment again, please mention it in chat. I don't look at the chat. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I keep looking at the camera. I don't look at the chat. So if you guys would like to talk about it or like to see us do the 10 and 10 again, please, please, please bring it back. So we are going to take our very, very, very first caller here on the podcast. We said we were going to do it, and we're going to do it. So let me see. The very first call that I have coming on here is we are going to be bringing on Trevor, who's working on AMP blockchain. So let me bring him up here. And Trevor, welcome. Sir, you are the very first official caller to the podcast. How are you doing this evening, sir? You got to talk, brother.
I'm here on the podcast. We said we were going to do it. We're going to do it. So.
You got to turn off your speakers too, man. You know what? We're going to drop Trevor back into the queue until he works out his tech part. And we are going to bring on John Wynn. John Wynn, welcome. If you actually get the words out, I'm going to say that you are the very first caller on the podcast. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Hello?
John. Hello, John. Anybody?
Hello?
Hi. Try this one more time. John, do we have you, John Wynn?
Hey, what's up, man?
There we go. Welcome to the podcast, man. What do you have on your mind, sir? And if you could please turn down your speakers, it would be a really, really good help.
I have my speaker down right now.
There we go. We're
first question that I have for you.
Hit me. Nope. It's your show, man.
My first question I had for you was is regarding the AMP token. Okay, I was just curious. Once transactions start ramping up, I was curious to how long the AMP token actually stays in collateralization before it goes back into the staking pool.
Excellent. Yeah. It's an excellent question on that one. So from the time that a transaction happens, and let's just say we go to Dunkin' Donuts and we spend $7 and we use Litecoin for the transaction, it processes through the Flexa network. Flexa immediately seizes $7 worth of AMP. $7 worth of AMP is now collateralized to pay the merchant. Now, AMP and the Flexa network right now owns $7 worth of Litecoin. So it will stay in a collateralized state until the Litecoin itself is converted from Litecoin back to liquidity so that Flexa can recover that $7 plus 0.5%, dumps it on the network, and they're done. So that is going to be held up there a little bit longer because there's a conversion issue in that place. You get it?
Yep, I get it. I have one more question, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, hit me.
My last question is, every time we use the Spendin app, I was curious what exchange they use for the conversion rate.
On that one, I kind of noticed now that I'm speculating on this. Absolutely speculating, but I got a hunch I'm probably right. If you notice that every coin that's available on the Spend app is also available on Gemini. And considering that Gemini is the beautiful, the host, the start, the founder of all this feast, I'm saying that they're converting everything on Gemini. That's a guess, but I think it's probably a good guess. It would be an excellent question for Eli next week. So thank you very much for John for calling in. We are going to go ahead and let you go. You were the very first caller, man. That was outstanding. Thank you for helping making this show a success.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So, all righty. So now we are bringing Trevor back. Trevor, how are you doing? Do I got you, brother?
And
Yeah.
Trevor was
Am I
saying
on?
he can't.
You are
hear
on,
you.
Trevor. Talk to me, man.
Oh my gosh. So long-time listener, first-time caller.
I think. Wait a minute. I got to hit the applause. Yay! Somebody said that to me. That's fantastic. All right, brother. Hit me.
All right. So if you had the opportunity to build a blockchain like Explorer specific to AMP, what kind of metadata would you want to see that? So right now we can't really see, locking. Well, we may be able to see locking AMP and unlocking AMP, but what other type of data would you want to get from that?
It's honestly, man, this is I'll tell you what, Trevor, you seem to have an opinion on it. You tell me what data you would want to see on this. Look, I know you run the nodes, man. You are leaps and bounds ahead of me technically. And if I was ever going to bring on a tech expert, I would literally bring you on the show and tell you to ask Trevor. You have something in mind, man. Tell me what you got in mind.
This is what I've come up with.
Mm-hmm.
So how many wallets / addresses have staked AMP ever? Because right now we only know, the number of wallets that have AMP in the wallet,
yes,
not
sir.
that have staked.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd try to answer that. If you send AMP to the contract address directly, that AMP is lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I would want to keep a tally of when the last time that happened. How many staking pools? So we know Gemini Pool and we know Spedden, but
Mm-hmm.
how many staking pools exist? And then what are the balances of each one of those that we don't that aren't public? That's what I've come up with.
Yeah. No, man, these are fantastic questions, but the kicker, and I'm really of two minds on this, and this is why I love Trevor, by the way. Listen to these questions that he brings me. Not, hey, congratulations on taking calling guests. He says, well, let's talk metadata. I'm of two minds on this, man, and this one is a tough one for me. It really is. I want to maintain privacy. I'm a big fan of DeFi. I'm a big fan of decentralization, and the more data that we make publicly available to everybody, even if it's on the blockchain, I think we might eventually start getting into a point where it's almost effectively tracked. And if the DeFi itself is not guaranteed anonymity, and I understand it, as you know how wallets work, I know how wallets work, but it seems to me that the more data that we make put out there and publicly available and publicly trackable and so forth and so on. So an example to AMP, if all of my AMP is staked on my wallet, then my wallet doesn't show up as a holder. So I get that. But it's slippery slope kind of stuff to me. I mean, I want... If I know that I can clear my wallet as a wallet holder by staking all of my AMP, and I choose to do that, I don't think it would be. I don't think it'd be right or effective for somebody to be able to go in here. Yeah, but he has it, but he's just staking it. So I think it could be borderline getting into a kind of privacy issues on that. I mean, that's just me. That's way far out. But again, I try to be devil's advocate when it comes into stuff like this, and honestly, I'm of the opinion that people game the system the way they game the system specifically for that reason. So I will absolutely defer to you on that, sir. What do you think would be valuable? But I would say you'd have to back it up to say, why would it be valuable? Not just because it'd be neat to know, but why do you need to know it? I think if we can get into that and get a general consensus amongst the crypto community, I think in that case you might be onto something. But if it's just maintaining data for the sake of maintaining data, I'd have to. I'm this one, man. I'm Nero going right there in the middle on that one. So, did that answer your question, Trevor? You good with that?
Yeah, I appreciate your opinion. Thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming on, man. All right, and let me see. We are paying money right now, and I have no other guests because nobody else called in. You wanted this. Ray, you are busting my bells on this. Bring on the calls. Bring on the calls. Bring on the calls. How come I don't see Ray? How come I don't see Ray on that board? Bert, How come Ray's not calling up here when he said that this is what he wants? This is Saturday, man. I did this for you, Ray. You. And I didn't see your name on there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave the phone lines open for the entire rest of the night. I'm sure Belle has got some questions that she wants to talk to me about. You guys got to give me 60 seconds. Let me get some medicine, and we will be right back. Hope you're enjoying the show so far tonight. And I just went and took a look at the call queue, and there's nobody there. Are we so uninteresting? Am I so intimidating? I like to think that I'm about the friendliest crypto host that I think you could ever have. I saw one of the first comments in the AMP Reddit, and I do spend time there, guys. I like to get the pulse of the AMP community, same as everybody else. The very first, somebody posted up that we are going to be interviewing Eli, and I thought that was great. And the very first thing when I mentioned up there that we had open phone lines is we got this big neg comment. Well, I bet it's going to be $50 just to sit in the queue, or $50 for the chance to call him in. Guys, have we ever charged anybody a nickel for anything? What makes you think we would leverage an interview with Eli or an interview with Tyler? What makes you think that we would leverage that for personal gain, man? What about anything that we're doing suggests to you that we doing this for personal gain? I'm going to say whoever made that comment's probably never seen the show. But you know what? I'm not everybody's cup of tea. So, Belle, what do we got?
Arctogen, when do you guys think AMP will really take off?
Good question, man. I don't really do price predictions. Now, I've made a lot of videos, and I've talked about this a lot of different ways. Why I think, what I think, how I think, and so forth. And it's a long, slow token, man. I haven't changed my opinion about that. Nothing has changed my opinion about that. So it's not going to be tomorrow. It's going to be a year plus, something like that. I would love it to prove me wrong. I just don't see how it can. I've read the white paper, man. I've dug all the way down. I did the math. And it's not like it's hidden math. They posted in. Here's our formulas. Here's our anticipation. This is why we think what we think. And I could plug in N. I could plug in C. I can plug in variables to see where they're getting it. And everything about it suggests to me that it's going to be a long haul. It's based on usage. It's based on 5.5% usage. Again, with my own crazy gorilla math, they're going to have to process $50 million worth of transactions a month just to get to the point that they're not feeding their own network out of capital reserves. That's what that 2.5 million AMP that goes in as staking rewards, that's where it comes from. It's coming from Flex's capital reserves. So they're going to have to process at a nickel, at the current AMP value of a nickel, they're going to have to process approximately $50 million worth of transactions just to stop feeding the network. I don't even think that goes paying for user fees or all the additional costs that go into supporting a network that is this large. It has this much potential on it. So when's AMP going to go up? Man, not right away. Not right away. I know I'm supposed to pump it. I know it. You know what? It's going to be there tomorrow. Ray, tomorrow. Quit the job, leave the wife, get a younger one, and you're good to go, man. You're good to go. It's all going to happen. But it's just not. I don't see any way for that to be possible. So I hope that answered the question. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to speak to the podcast, 515-523-6995. We are ready for your calls right now. And I have the show piping back through, so while you're on hold, you hear everything. You're not going to miss anything. We don't have it set up like that. So, Belle, what else you got?
All right, Furious Storm is asking, Scott, how does it feel to be completely wrong about never having 1,000 subscribers and now have destroyed that non-belief by 21%?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't look at the analytics. I let Belle do it. It would depress me. That's what it is. I don't know if you guys have done YouTube or have really splashed your face all over the internet before. It's intimidating, man. Every time I hit upload or schedule a video, it's intimidating. I'm like, oh, is this one going to die? They're not going to like it. I'm going to lose subs. I'm going to do all this, and this. So I don't even look at the analytics. I let Belle do it. It feels wonderful. It feels absolutely wonderful. I'm humbled by every single person who spent some time with us, who decided, you know what, we're going to click that sub button. I'm not one of those, they come, they go kind of people, man. If I get you as a sub, I'm going to fight to hold you. It's important. If it's important to you, it's important to me, and I want to maintain the relationship. So that's what we were talking about during the monologue. That's why it's tough for us, because we do a different show. We don't do a traditional crypto show. We are bringing old radio onto YouTube. I'm a radio guy. Our call screener, Bert, is a radio guy. I started in AM radio. Bert started in AM radio. So, I mean, we like the fit and feel of it. I never thought it would translate to YouTube. That's the funny thing. Everything up here it's more tech. It's more, I don't care. It's more casual. It's I don't know what you call that. The the indifference that seems to dominate the YouTube scene. So I didn't think that that passionate radio would really play well here. I'm glad I was proven wrong. Again, you know what? Never going to be a huge channel. We don't have the charts up there. I'm not pumping. I'm not dumping. I'm not getting people fired up. I'm only telling them what I think. And crypto moves fast, and a lot of crypto people are simply here just for the money. And I'm of the opinion that you got to be here for something more, man. It's got to be more than just the money. The money is great. It's the cherry on top for me. But I want to see this innovation brought to the world. And just a lot of crypto is not there. A lot of crypto people aren't there, man. They want to know, when is it going to go to 35% and so forth and so on. Now, I guess I could counter and say that, see that board over there? All my favorites, they're all up. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to leave it there. So I hope that answered the question for you, Belle. Carry on.
It did. Mr. Quiero Queso, can we address the comment about Flexa credit card, but Flexa not wanting to do CCs?
Well, I'm of the opinion, this is opinion, guys. It's opinion editorial, and that's a great question, by the way. Thank you. I looked at their interviews, and I read through their stuff, too. And they may not want to do traditional credit cards, meaning a piece of plastic and you stick it in a machine and and I could certainly understand that. I wouldn't want to do that either. It's an old, dated, fraudulent model. I mean, why would you want to sell yourself into that? But could I see FlexiPay? I could see FlexiPay. I can see something like that really, really easily. And that's one of the questions that I would really like to ask Eli. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to ask Eli. If you happen to have an issuing bank that would issue a line of credit that is usable on the Flexa network, same way like a line of credit for Discover is processed on the Discover network. If an issuing bank was to come out and say, sure, we'll give you credit on this, and because it's such a fraud-proof network that we're taking essentially zero risk, that, maybe they would give it a very, very good APR or something like that. But it is, for all intents and purposes, a digital transaction at that point. So you go onto your app, you pull it up, but instead of hitting Litecoin, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, or something like that, you hit the credit that shows up from the issuing bank. So you hit that up, it turns into a barcode, you swipe it, or they scan it, blink, and just like that, you're done. Now, the only difference between what Flex is doing now and what Flexa would be doing in that state is, instead of converting to crypto, they would be taking the credit note, they would be walking it over to the issuing bank, they'd be handing it to them, the issuing bank would pay the note, it's a digital check, the money would go back on Flexa, they made 5.5%, and on they go. They have to be thinking this. They have to be thinking this. And I did make a video about this, not specifically about this very thing, but something in there. I believe, hands down, that that's their long-term plan. That is absolutely their long-term plan, is FlexiPay. And if it ever came up, you know what? You heard it here on the podcast first. Thank you for tuning in. If they have no intention of ever processing legacy payments, then why would they build hypothecation into the network? What would be the purpose? Crypto is by itself is fraud-proof, effectively fraud-proof. If I have it in my wallet and I hit on the spend app and they scan it, it leaves my wallet and it goes out to the network. But I cannot spend more than I have. Can't be done. I can't fake what I have. Network won't recognize it. So why would you build hypothecation into a system that is already effectively fraud-proof? Nobody's smoked crypto yet. Nobody's faked it out. Because as soon as somebody does it once, crypto collapses. It's done. Boom. Just like that. The one thing that we have in the crypto market is that we have faith that it all works correctly, that nobody's been able to hack it. They haven't been able to disrupt every node at the same time to sneak a transaction in. Nobody's been able to do that yet. So because of that, there would be no need for Flexa to have hypothecation. But yet it does have hypothecation. So if they have debt recovery for fraud on a network that essentially cannot have fraud, what's the point? They have said numerous times, over and over and over, we can process anything, any digital transaction. Every interview that I've looked at or seen, we can process any digital transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think a credit card transaction is? If it shows up right here, if the barcode shows up right here and boom, and off it goes, that is a credit card transaction in a digital form. What do you think credit card transactions are? They're digital checks. That's all they are. Now, we can get into the minutia. We can break all that stuff down. I don't see the need for it, though, because I'm right. So if they can process anything, and these are, in fact, digital transactions, I think we can agree with that. How can you not expect them to move into that space? I think that is the entire intent of Flexa from conception, was to move into that space. And I'm sorry if this is turning into a rant, man, but this is a real hot button for me here. There is not enough desire to spend crypto. There just isn't. I do it, but I'm a zealot. And I'm pretty sure that some people on the stream tonight, however many people are here, I'm pretty sure some people on the stream tonight have spent credit or have spent crypto. But it's not there every day. They don't do it specifically to because they think it's a better way. Most people are doing it just because it's neat. So you can post on the Reddit. So you can do all this stuff. They think that's neat doing all that. But I don't believe for a second that they think that they're doing this as part of their day-to-day spending, unless their day-to-day happens to be going to Dunkin' Donuts or something like that. I think everything about this is set up and designed to consume the traditional pay rails, and by doing it a better way with a gold-backed pay rail. I don't see anything about this that's changing my mind right now. And I get it, man. People are passionate. No, it's crypto only. Yeah. Dude, you're wrong. Oh, I'm going to say it, man. You were absolutely wrong. And I'm not one to say that. I don't go out of my way to tell somebody that they're wrong. I don't do that. But if you cannot open your mind enough to see this and to listen to their words and to read the white paper, then I can't help you. I just can't. Everything about this and every bit of value, the massive value, the moon value, the Mars value that's going to come from this is going to come from traditional space. You don't build a product to support 6% of the world. You build a product to support 100% of the world. Flexa. Enough said. That's all I got. I do see that we have a call in the queue, but I don't see any information about this particular call. Bert, I'm just saying, Bert, if you're listening, do your job, man. Belle, what else we got?
All right, next question on the list. Lifelong learners. My silly question for the night. Best concert you've ever been to?
Wow, that's tough. Nobody ever asked me good, simple questions, man. That means a lot to me. I thank you for that. The best concert I ever went to was Cheap Trick, and I've seen Cheap Trick 3 times. That's it. Hands down, the best concerts that I've ever seen is Cheap Trick. If you think you're a great band and you think you have it all together and you think that you are just the shiznit or whatever the kids say, go see a Cheap Trick concert. And then you're going to realize that, man, we suck. We're not good. Cheap Trick. Hands down. Yeah, there there you go. So, do we got anything else, Bell, or can I take a 60 here, man? I'm coming off a rant and sadly.
I was actually going to chime in on the best concert I've ever been to question.
Take it away, man. It's your show.
On my end, it's gotta be Alice Cooper. That guy puts on a terrific show.
Alice Cooper is old school, man. I mean, I grew up in the heyday of all this stuff. So Alice Cooper is old school, and you can say what you want about his music. You know what? He's not changing the world with his lyrics, but you know what? Neither is Kiss. But they are more influential to an entire time period than I like to argue that most people have ever been. They might not be, they're not putting out YouTube level lyrics, but they know how to do a show. Alice Cooper knows how to do a show. Kiss knows how to do a show. Aerosmith knows how to put on a show. So we do have one. I got Mark in the queue. You know what, Mark? If you could give me 60 seconds, sir, I got to wet the whistle. I want to make sure you get my full attention. So let me recharge just for 60 seconds, guys. We are going to be right back. Thank you for continuing to support the podcast. We'll be right back. Thank you. We were having a chat offline, and yeah, we were starting to talk about music. I love Friday nights, man. This is just I love Friday nights because we can do this. I did glance at a thing. Yeah, Bert, you messed it up. You left you left someone in the queue for 60 seconds. I'm looking at
Scott,
the queue. What?
It's Saturday, not Friday.
Saturday night. It's Saturday. You guys, I don't need to have my ears pinned back by my own producer. You're supposed to say, by God, it is Saturday. Everybody's let me down tonight. But I'm sorry, we were talking about music offline. I love Saturday nights because we can do stuff like that. The world is big, and it's bigger than crypto. But as much as we like to talk about it, I'm also a very, very, very passionate fan of music. So there's really no genre that I would just completely stay away from. My favorite is disco. I am that guy. I love disco. Disco is not dead, all right? Disco is life. I absolutely love disco. Anyway, we've had a caller hanging on, so we are going to be bringing you Mark. Can you spend more than one currency per purchase on Flex and Air? Mark, welcome to the podcast, sir. What's on your mind?
Now, can you dig it, sucker?
Can you dig it? Anybody see that movie? Has anybody seen that but me? I'm sorry. It's one of my screensavers. So, yeah, can you dig it? What's on your mind,
Classic.
Mark? Yeah?
I'm glad that you got the phone lines open because I'm watching you. I think I told you when I emailed you, I'm watching you on my Android TV box, and it's just a TV with a remote control. I don't have the keyboard, and I don't get the chat. I can't do anything but just watch. So
man,
call you.
You know what, Mark? For what it's worth, I don't see the chat either. It would be such a distraction. Not that I don't want to interact with everybody. Please understand that. But I want to give you 100% of my attention. And if I'm doing this number here, I'm not doing that. So I leave it up to Bell and everybody. But hey, man, thanks for calling in. What is on your mind, sir? Take it away.
Well, I got it. My question is at some point in the future, the wallets, like for example, Gemini, which is the one that I have, will they be able to implement an option where we'll be able to use multiple cryptos at once for larger purchases. If I wanted to buy let's say a $500 TV, and I didn't want to buy it all with just Doge, I wanted to split it up between 5 different cryptos. You think that's going to be an option?
Easily achievable from the register itself, the same way that you would break up a purchase over several credit cards. So I don't see why that would be a problem. But unless I'm mistaken, and I very well could be, I got a lot of AMP folk out here. I got a lot of Flex folk. I got a lot of Gemini folks, so maybe they can clarify this. But to my knowledge right now, the limit is not per purchase, it's per week, and it's going to be tied to individual wallet. So I don't think an individual wallet itself is going to allow you to spend more than $250 per week. Now,
but that's going to go up in the future, though.
Oh, it has to. It absolutely has to. I'm seeing it as tiers right now. So they're limiting it right now because they want to limit their risk. So they're not going to let you put a Tesla on your card because immediately they are tying up a massive amount of volume of AMP. It's tied up now. It is now collateralized. So until this gets settled, they're going to be stuck there. We're stuck with it. And everybody on the network, that's you, me, that's everybody who stakes, we're all on the hook for this. So I appreciate the way that they're doing it. Now, as the network grows in value, as it goes from 1.2 billion to 2.4 to 3.6 to 5, 6, 7 to 10 billion, I absolutely expect that number to go up. I think it'll go up proportionally. So once the network doubles in value and holds that value, I would absolutely expect to see that max weekly spend double as well. I think it'll be a proportional thing. I didn't look for that specifically in the white paper, or if it even mentioned that specifically in the white paper, but I'm pretty sure. I think I'm correct about that one.
Okay.
So, yep, that's what I think.
So
go ahead.
When the volumes do go up for larger items, you think that you would be able to purchase one particular item with like 2 different cryptocurrencies the same, split the between the 2 currencies instead of
Yeah. No, I understand. They're any of the merchants are capable of doing that now. So you can break up large purchases over several credit cards. They charge you 1 bit here, 1 bit here, 1 bit here. So I don't see why it would be any different than. I don't see why it would be any different doing it on the Flexen network, because that's going to be the merchant-facing issue. So that's going to be a merchant issue, and they can do that now. So I don't see why that would be any different. What do you think, Mark? Did I answer your question appropriately? Or are you feeling satisfied with your response from the podcast?
Yeah, no, perfect.
Okay, excellent, man. Thanks for dropping by. Please. Go ahead.
What's that?
I said I didn't hear you, man. I was talking over you. Go ahead.
I just glad that I found you. I think I missed your first maybe 6 episodes or something, and I've been watching you since. And amp all the way.
Oh yeah, man. You know what, brother, you are absolutely my hero. Thank you for calling in, and please be sure to call back again. So, Belle, what do we got?
Astro the People's Wizard. I've been experimenting with Polygon Network. Thoughts on it?
Yeah. My favorite is sitting right over there. So you guys kind of know my mind on this one. I like Polygon. I like Matic. I like what they're doing. I think it's necessary. They are doing a good thing. But it's that momentary, nanosecond that it's no longer visible from L1. I have an issue with that. Now, this is a me thing. I'm not pushing anything that I would not recommend that don't buy this because of this. I don't really do that. But that is my one little burr that I happen to have with Matic. Now, I think I'm the only one on the planet that seems to have that, but I try to stay consistent. So if I said because I don't like it because of this reason, I'm going to hold in there and I'm not going to buy into it. Now, I don't own any Matic. I just don't. If you are and you're happy with it, man, kudos, you do you. But it's just I'm not in love with the way they're doing it. I'm in love with the way Scale's doing it. So that's why it's on the board. That's why they have my money. They're very good staking rewards, by the way. So I kind of stick with that one. That's it. Hope that answered the question.
It did, and I'm just gonna put a note in here. You guys are redoing Queen's lyrics, and
They're
it's
what?
they are redoing Queen lyrics.
Should I be looking at the comments? I got them up over here. Should I be spending my time looking at the comments? I thought this.
Okay. So I'll read one of them to you, and you tell me what you think. So Furious Storm is going, Ampy, you're a big token moving up the ladder. Collateralize and P is going to take on Bitcoin someday. Got green on your chase. We'll win this race. Making money for investors all over the place.
I'm telling you, do we have simply the best audience in the crypto space, or do we not have the best audience that's in the crypto space, man? These are great people, man. They're just Johnny on the spot here, man. I'm loving every second of it.
Me too, and I'm dying from that one. But
I can see that you're about to potty, aren't you?
No, I'm smart enough to go before the show. Now, Andre, thoughts on Alchemix self-paying loans?
Two minds. I'm gonna leave them there. I did. You know what? I poked around on Alchemix a little bit. I don't really like shenanigans, and something about that to me just feels sketchy. That's really all it is, man. I think it's neat. I like people getting clever and creative with crypto. I think that's what crypto is here for. But it just feels a little sketchy to me. Anything that's loan yourself money, you pay yourself the interest you can't lose. You know what? If there was a way to do it, they would have already done it. You don't really need crypto for something like that. So I'm not crazy about the way that they kind of monkey the system and then present it as if it's a different way. It gives me one of those feelings of like SafeMoon, of Shiba, of Doge. It just gives me that that kind of uncomfortable feeling when you see the pretty girl way at the end of the bar, but you can't quite see her because it's way at the end of the bar. There's a lot of smoke and it's kind of weird, and you're kind of doing one of those maybe. Maybe. And then you get close to it and you start to read it and you're just like, yeah, maybe not. But once you've made eye contact and you're that close, you're kind of committed. So once you have that up, meaning that you could buy some of this stuff, you've almost committed to it. And when you start to read the way that the descriptions, and if it starts to make sense to you, you actually consider something like a reverse mortgage is a good idea. You know what? I need money now. I don't want to leave my house to my kids because I don't like my kids anymore. So, yeah, you know what? Reverse mortgage. I think it's a great idea. How could it go wrong? It kind of feels that way to me. I could be wrong, man. You guys could have a better experience with it than I am. But you know what? I don't buy extended warranties, and reverse mortgages are an absolute scam. I don't care who's pitching it. So I'm gonna leave it there. Bill, what you got?
Inspector Flexa, is AMP going to be a top 5 hitter in the next year or two?
Yep. Next question.
Lifelong learners, returning to my old question, what conditions need to be met in order to encourage people to spend crypto? Sorry, I know it's a loaded question.
Yeah, it is always a loaded question, man. Look, people are passionate on this. It's almost becoming a political question. It really is. I leave my politics out of my stream completely. I leave it out absolutely 100% completely because the country is so brutally polarized that as soon as you say one word, half of the country is going to hate you. So I stay out of it. Spending crypto is almost getting that level of passion, and you see it a lot. And you see it a lot around the AMP space because the success or failure of AMP at these early stages is going to depend on people spending crypto. Now, there's a great big elephant in the room that nobody addresses. They don't even talk about it. We just like pretend that the landmine we're about to step on is going to be a dud. So go ahead and step on it. It doesn't matter. Spending crypto is a taxable event. It is a taxable event at a capital gains rate of taxes. A lot of people have been talking around this one, but I think for the most part, we pretend it just is not. Like it doesn't really matter. Taxes are so non-crypto. I'm not going to even worry about them. But IRS is. They're paying super close attention. And as soon as you spend crypto in a traditional customer-facing, world-facing, legacy place, they have a receipt. They know what you spent. Unless you are well masked in the DeFi, and if you're spending it on the Gemini app, which you had to send them your driver's license, social security number, verify your account, they have your info. So if it came off from this phone, they know where it came from. All right, there's no hiding that. You can't just come out and say, "Well, I didn't spend it." Prove it. They're less like, "Here you go. That's you. You owe us 38%." So that is, I see that alone as the biggest hindrance to spending crypto more than anything else, is the fact that it is a taxable event. And I know it's not cool. I know it's not hip. I know it's not fun. But we really need to have that discussion. So what conditions have to exist to really make crypto take off? Have the IRS treat it as a currency. Have the IRS treat it as a currency instead of a capital investment. Until that happens, and they have no incentive to make that happen, none at all. Until that happens, there's always going to be that little shadow around spending crypto, which, considering Flexa is a New York-based company that is ISO compliant, by the way, I looked it up, and yes, they are. But because Flexa is a New York-based company operating in the boundary of the United States, getting licenses for all of these states to be able to use their product, they're going to be Johnny on the spot with the crypto spends. They're going to be Johnny on the spot with reporting them and making sure that they are available if anybody comes asking. So we could pretend that it's not, that we don't have to worry about it because it's just not cool, it's not hip, but IRS paying close attention to this. So until they treat the currency that it is as a currency, which it is, until they do that, we're always going to have a little bit of a hindrance to this. There's always going to be a little problem. I got to throw up the hand real quick here, guys. I see that our call queue is completely empty. I don't believe anybody else is going to be calling this night, but I do thank you for letting us test the system. But I pay every minute that this thing is on that nobody's on there. So we're going to be turning off the phone lines. Thank you so much for letting us do this tonight and running the field test. I want to say that the test was successful. So I'm going to be ending the, you know what? I'm going to take 60 seconds, going to end the show. Not the show. I'm going to end this paying for this money, and we will be right back. Thank you very much. Thank you. The test was a success. As long as, and I didn't see anything in the chat, so I don't know if you guys actually heard it. I'm looking at my meters, so I'm seeing that I'm getting bounce on my meters, so I assume everything was going out and that you guys could hear it. If you have any way that we need to adjust this, please let us know, because, again, remember, Eli's coming back here, is going to be on the show. So I want to make sure that we give him a very good quality product. But anyway, I didn't want to cut that answer off. I want to put it back. I'm going to put it back on the podcast audience. How do you guys see us getting around this little capital gains tax issue? So I've put a lot of thought into this, and I haven't figured it out yet. Now, I'm sure with all of the wild amount of knowledge, experience, wisdom that we have in the podcast audience, finest audience in crypto podcasting, right here. But with all that knowledge and experience, maybe somebody else has an idea of how we get around that little taxable event, because I haven't figured one out yet. And lifelong learners, yes, I see that as the absolute greatest hindrance to people spending crypto. We can pretend it doesn't exist, but it really does. Did you have something to say, Belle?
And Vlad is chiming in saying 5x5 calls went good.
Okay, good. I want to make sure that thing's working. We are going to have him on again on Thursday, because this is, the week before. This is the pregame. I might even bring... Yay! Anthony, man, you were just giving us way too much money. I appreciate it, though, man. We might even bring on we might find a special standing guest for Eli, just because we want to test the system and make sure that it's good for when we have the guy on here. I want a 100% flawless show so that we can get him back. We're trying to be the voice of AMP, and it's not working, but we're trying. But with all the money that we have tied up in AMP and stake to Flexa and all that other stuff, I don't think it's out of the realm that we would want to have a voice to the Flexa HQ. We want to be that voice. That's what it is, man. We want to be getting these guys on here so we get the information first, so that we get it from the horse's mouth, so it's not pure speculation. That's what we're trying to do here, and you guys can certainly make us help that out. I don't know how big the audience would be. I would expect double or triple what we typically have. I'm not that interesting. So I'm not going to get people to hang on that long just to listen to Scott ramble, even if it is on a fun Saturday night and I can say whatever the hell I want. But this is our goal, man. This is what we want more than anything else, is to have that. We want to be the correspondence rail to Flexa. We want to be able to come on here every week. Hey, we got this guy, we got this guy, we got this guy. What do you want to know about your money? I'm tired of the speculation myself, so I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. So that's what we're doing, man. That's why we're pushing this. That's why we want to make it happen, and you guys can make sure that they come back. And that's where we're there. We're also trying to be really, really careful so that we don't absolutely harpoon our own channel by if we let a knucklehead through and he gets on ranting and raving and he shaking his ass at Eli, he's not coming back. So we're trying to be careful with all of this, so that one, we can get Flexa back, and two, we don't torpedo our own channel. What you got, Bill?
All right, next question from Jesus is God. Scott, do you think when Ethereum passes Bitcoin in market cap, it will start the trend of other cryptos decoupling from Bitcoin?
You're getting into a real it's a real hot button for me, man. It really is. As you guys know, if you look at my board over there's not a single coin on there. They're just not. I do not invest in crypto coins. I don't see the there's a real deep part of me that wants one of them to be just wildly successful, so that, particularly if it's a fiat coin, I'm sorry, a non-fiat coin. Let me correct myself. Saturday night, man, a non-fiat coin. I would love an alternative to traditional fiat currency. I think that we're in the place to make that happen, and I'm going to try to catch myself so I don't start ranting on this, because again, it's a hot button issue. Ethereum overtaking Bitcoin would meet all of my dreams. All of my wildest expectations would be the Ethereum market cap exceeding the Bitcoin market cap. Bitcoin is speculative, purely speculative, and I don't like speculative. I think it brings out the worst of crypto. I think it brings out the absolute worst elements of crypto. I think it's given rise to really bad channels and really bad ideas in regards to what crypto is. People just see it as, well, it's just a moneymaker, and it could be. It could be. But it has to be something more than that. It has to be. Ethereum is. Ethereum is the highway. Ethereum is what makes all this happen. So I would love to see I would love to see everything pegged to Ethereum, not everything pegged to Bitcoin. So you want to see the market suddenly get stability and be a place where people come to invest instead of speculate. Then, yeah, that is the catalyst. That's what sets it off. That's what it gets these wild, stupid carnival coins completely out of the market. It frees up billions of dollars that people are putting in just absolute blindly and stupidly with no idea of what the hell they're even buying. They just know it's neat. I mean, have you ever looked at some of these dumbass carnival coins and looked at their roadmaps? In the third quarter, their big achievement is going to be getting an influencer with 5 million plus followers. Why would that be on your roadmap? Why would that be anywhere near your product? Where you're saying that nobody will buy it unless somebody super cool comes out and tells them to buy it. If that's the case, it's a bad investment. It's a bad product. And there are so many kids getting roped into these things, just getting absolutely roped into these things. And it's people that where $300 might be a lot of money to them. They had to give up something in their life to buy $300 worth of this crap. So the fact that everything's still tied to Bitcoin, and I'm tailing back around to it, guys, but the fact that everything's so tied into this to a purely speculative coin, it's just not good for the market as a whole. And we take a 30,000-foot view here. We're looking at the whole thing. And when you see that there is so much value placed in pure speculation, it's gambling, and I hate it. I hate it. So, yes, that is the catalyst that blows this apart. That is the catalyst that takes these coins and puts them down into the gambling zone where they should be. Where they should be. Bitcoin rises and falls based on how many people buy it and how many people sell it. That's it. There is no third dimensional way that I'm just not considering. That it's not. More people buy it than sell it, price goes up. More people sell it than buy it, price goes down, period. It has no value unto itself. Only what purely speculative value. And you could go store a wealth. I'm happy to have that conversation. You could come up and say it's like gold. I'm happy to have that conversation. But it's not. It's just not. So until that event happens, and Jesus is God, that's a wonderful question. But until something like that happens, I just don't see what decouples the vast majority of the market from Bitcoin. And that is critical for a token to have its own representative store of value. AMP is going to be the first one. It is going to be the first one. It's practically doing it now. So, yeah, I think that's important. That's a very good question, and thank you very much. Guys, I'm sorry for the rant, man. I didn't want to do this. I don't want to do it on Saturday night, but you can't. You know what? If you poke the bear's going to shout. So that's it, man. That's a hot button for me. Belle, what else you got?
MJ asking a couple questions. Does it matter which app we stake in, Gemini or Spend, for a better APY?
Yeah,
then
no,
moves on
I
to flexicapacity.
No, I understand the question. No, I you know what? I just staked like 300,000 more before I came on, but I did it all from. I took it. I bought it on Gemini. I put it on my MetaMask, and I staked it from Gemini. I don't know if there was a difference. I don't think so. There might be. If it is, it's like 100th of a percentage point. So I don't think that there's a big difference. But I did all mine from Gemini, through Gemini. So I don't know if there's a difference. There may be. I won't go on record either way, but I think they're very, very close. I am certain that somebody over here in chat knows. So I'm sorry I couldn't answer that question. Belle, what you got? Hello, Belle.
MJ's question actually continued with
Okay.
both options are available, but which app drives the stake upward?
I don't know. Good question. I think wherever your app, wherever the contract is generated from, I think I'm pretty sure. Like I said, I do all of mine one way, and so there is other ways. I just haven't looked at them. So I will defer on that question, but I promise you I will get you an answer for it. How about that? So catch us Thursday, and we'll get you an answer. Do you have anything else, Bill?
Oh, yeah. Inspector Flexa, the potential for AMP based on its 100 billion supply cap. 100 billion is not a lot for a global payment system, is it? Meaning the value of an AMP token has massive potential value.
Yep. Next question.
Nice. Type Shizlude, what is the incentive for the Flexa team? How do they get paid?
You know, that's another good question. They are holding on to about $1.3 billion worth of staked AMP, but they don't own it. It's not theirs. It's not theirs. So that is probably the one question that I've had in mind for quite a while, and I haven't really dug into the answer. According to the white paper, but actually this tails me back around to who asked me that question earlier about them becoming traded on this stock exchange. Who was it that asked me that question?
That was, bear with me one sec. That was the Loopy Lone Texan.
Loopy Lone Texan. That's what, you know what, I'm gonna do an entire video or an entire live stream dedicated to just that. I was trying to think of a way that Flexa itself would, meaning that the people who own the Flexa network, where are they going to get their money? Because according to their very own white paper, they're only charging a 0.5% fee. All of that fee goes into buying up liquidity and dumping it on the Flexa network, and they're paying the bank. That's us. So I've been trying to figure out how the hell they get paid too. So even though that they are allowed to use the staked value, it's not theirs. None of it. Well, I'm sure there's some of it, but you know what I'm getting at. The stake value is not theirs. That's the bank, man. We hold title to that. That belongs to us. If you're a staker, it belongs to you. So they can't just willy-nilly go in there and say, well, we're going to give ourselves a pay raise and we're going to take more money out. They can't do that. Again, according to their own white paper, the fact that they're a U.S.-based company, all of these things suggest that that money is absolutely off limits. So, but as soon as Loopy Loan Texas asked me that question, it got me thinking about that. How long before we see Flexa Incorporated on the New York Stock Exchange? What value would it have to have as a company before, you see an initial offering on it? So it got me thinking about that. There might be something there. I'm not going to go on record. Let me work it out in my head. But as far as Flexa being a product that would be available to do something like that, I think so. I absolutely think so. People kind of thought the same thing about Coinbase. Now you can buy Coinbase stock. So, yeah, there might be something there.
All right, Inspector Flexa again. How do El Salvador people live waiting on BTC transaction times with AMP collateralizing for them? Waiting around forever for grocery payments to go through.
Are you saying with Flexa doing it or without Flexa doing it? So now with Flexa processing it. Yeah, with Flexa processing, it's instantaneous. We all know how this works. Without, can't answer that question, man. I haven't looked into it. I'm almost wondering if it's kind of like a check, something like that. Now, I need to dig into the El Salvador thing a lot more, guys, and I apologize. There's only so much time in a day. So I really need to dig into that because I know that they're starting talking partnerships about who's going to be processing a lot of these things. Now, nobody would be better than Flexa. Hands down, nobody would be better than Flexa. But does Flexa at this time have the capacity to support El Salvador? And I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they don't have the capacity to handle all of those. Now, this is coming around to lifelong learners question. What would it take to get people incentivized to spend crypto? Put them in El Salvador, who has just declared that Bitcoin is in fact a currency and therefore it's not a capital gains. It's not a capital gain. It is a currency. So the 38% that you're going to get binged on it for in the United States, not going to get binged on it in El Salvador, just like spending cash. So if the U.S. wanted to do something like that, I think people are going to be spending a hell of a lot more crypto. But until they do, I think it's going to be an underground thing. So that's the answer. And again, I will get back to the El Salvador thing because, yeah, as it sits right now, man, they're waiting. So unless they treat it like a digital check, they're going to be, I don't know. It's going to be expensive and it's going to be inefficient. Nobody's doing it the way Flex is doing it, so it will be pricey and it will not be efficient. So, Belle, we got about 2 minutes, so I will take one more question and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it. So, give me a good one.
I'm gonna make the last one a fun one. From David Ainsworth. My question: will my girls still hate me when I'm worth $20 million?
Which girls? Are you talking to your kids or are you talking to your girlfriends?
He's talking to his girlfriend.
Yeah, they'll still hate you, man. Look, this is I assume if you're asking this question, you're a younger man. They're gonna hate you. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, man. You see some very wealthy women and some very wealthy men that just absolutely despise each other. It has nothing to do with the amount of money. It just has to do that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Nothing's ever going to change that. Yeah, they might hide it better, but no, man, the hate is still there. It's still bubbling. It's still seething. And eventually one day you're going to come home and all of your clothes are going to be in the driveway and they're going to be on fire. Doesn't matter how much money you have. The advantage of it is, of course, the fact that you have a lot of money and you can just buy more clothes. But yeah, they're still gonna hate you, man. Nothing's gonna change about. Nothing's gonna change that. So, all right, Bell. That's it. I am gassed. Everybody who joined us tonight, I cannot thank you enough. I'm absolutely humbled with the support that you continue to give the podcast. I hope you guys are enjoying the old radio style feel that we're bringing to this. This was our 100% intention. I hope you guys have been enjoying the format. If you have anything that you'd like to see on here, you can email me right there. You can email Bell right there. I promise you, man, if you want it, we will do everything we can to make it happen, assuming that it works with what we're doing here. So if you'd like to see some changes, man, let us know. We're happy to continue doing the show, but we want to do the show that you guys want to see, of course. We're not going to change our opinions. What we say is what we say. But if you would like to see a change up in the format, we're more than happy to entertain that. So, Bell, I am all done. I'm muting my microphone right now. You talk us up. I will hit the button. Thank you guys so much for joining us on a Saturday night. Take it away, Bell.
And again, ladies and gentlemen who joined us tonight for tonight's live stream, we thank you, thank you, thank you. We will definitely be back on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with more information. We may turn the phone lines back on because Thursday nights do tend to be a little bit bigger for us. We appreciate you guys helping make this a fun night. Saturdays are meant to be
Does
fun.
internet
We
porn know
greatly
you're cheating on it?
appreciate the questions. We appreciate the phone calls tonight. We appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and we will see you next time.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram.